All right, hello everybody. This is EJ back with another episode of Naja Nights. And on today's episode, child, we're going to be getting a little political. we're going to be we're going to be getting a little bit political. We're just going to have to and I don't do this on my show. I do not want to talk about politics and all that dumb crap, but I'm like, you know what, for this episode, let's just get into it. But we're gonna have fun with it. But before we get into that, I want to apologize. I was meaning to do more of my Halloween special episodes. I don't know, just my spirit just wasn't. I don't know. I did one episode and then I had so much fun doing that, so much fun, and I don't know. I just didn't feel the need to record another one. But I do plan. Next year I would love to do more. So yeah, definitely next year I'm going to try my best to do more of those because that was a lot of fun. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into this whole thing. So for people who maybe have been asleep or in a coma, and they're just not waking up today, I'm going to fill you in. So girl, the year is 2020. A lot of things been happening this year, coronavirus, people have passed away, so many different things. What else? Wildfires, global warming, different things, aliens. What else, girl, like so much stuff. And now we're dealing with the presidential election, and girl, it's just been a whole trip. And President Trump has been the president for like 4 years already. I think it's the end of his term. And a lot of people are trying to get him out the White House and get Biden into the White House. So that's currently what's happening. It's the whole election. And right now, so the election was supposed to be done like 2 days ago, if I'm correct, like two days ago. I think it was supposed to be finished, but the votes weren't counted yet because of the mail-in ballots or something like that. Apparently people are waiting for the mail-in ballots to come in so that they can get the proper number to really say who the new president of the United States is going to be. But I feel like it's a bunch of bull crap, because it's like all the other years they were really quick to call who the new president was, but this year, this year, all of a sudden it's just taking like so long for them to do it, and it just feels like they're just trying to be slick about it. It just feels like they're just trying to be slick, because so basically President Biden, his score is like he's literally points away from winning, like a few points away from winning. So he basically is the winner. But they're just trying to act cute and get more votes in to try to be slick and get Trump to win. And I remember there was somebody on Twitter, he was saying he did like a little fortune telling, saying that he feels like they're going to try to rig it to get Trump to win, but they can't do that now that the whole public is seeing that Biden is about to win. So there's no way that they can try to flip it and make it seem like Trump is the winner at this point. It's very obvious that Biden's going to win. It's just very obvious. Now, me myself, I didn't vote on this election. I didn't choose to vote. I just didn't feel the need to. My spirit just told me not to. The last election I did participate, but this election I chose not to participate. But I will say it's kind of funny sitting on the sidelines, with my popcorn, just watching the madness. But it's really not madness. The funny thing is, the Trump supporters, not all of them, but a good majority of them, they are really just really nasty about the whole thing. They're rioting, getting upset. They went into the polls demanding for the polls to stop counting. They want them to stop counting the votes because they want Trump to win. But that doesn't make any sense, because I'm like, how do you want them to stop counting the votes even though Trump is losing? I'm like, it'll make sense if he was winning by like a few points, and then you say, oh, stop the count. But they in there talking about some stop the count, but he's losing. Girl, he's losing. Why do you want them to stop the count? I mean, are y'all saying y'all want Biden to, y'all want Biden to win already? I'm assuming that's what it's about, is that they just want Biden. in the house quicker, and they just want to get it over with. They're like, just please end our suffering. That's what they should be chanting. They should just chant, end our suffering, end our suffering. Just put him in the White House, because that's really what they're saying when they say stop the count. But but I love what this YouTuber I watched that I love, and what he was saying was that he felt like it's just, he feels like there's no urgency with it, and that it feels just like, and same thing as me, he felt like it's very, very kind of just fake and like processed, the way that they're going about this, like with how they were saying they were sending people home who were working at the polls, like sending them home early, talking about they have to go home, like they can't stay here too late. And he was like, no, if you sign up to work at the polls for this really, really big historic moment in human history of the next president election, excuse me, sorry, he was like, if you choose to work at this job, and you have to, like all the stuff you have to do, like gathering the votes, all the other things, like all that type of stuff, and like you can watch on the live, like when they're like showing the live feed of them at the polls, like the employees, a good bit of them just look so lazy about it. They look like there's no urgency, and like that's what he was saying. He was like, there's no urgency, like they just look so lazy about it. And I was like, girl, yes. And of course they're like that, and it's like they're so slow, and then they're gonna say, oh, sorry you guys, we can't, we gotta come back tomorrow. Like, no, y'all should all stay there right then and there and work, and no one should be leaving that building at all. Like, they should have some bunk beds and some sleeping bags. That's what they should have. They should have some, it should be like, how like when people go to court and it's like jury duty, and the jury can't leave the room until they finally figure out if the person's guilty or not. Same thing with this, like no, y'all not leaving the building until we count these votes. No one's walking out that fucking door. Like, lock the door, lock the doors, throw it, like don't throw away the keys, but give the keys to somebody like on the outside, who's like outside the building, and give the keys to somebody outside the building, and they're gonna be like, we'll let you out this building when y'all count all the votes, because this is urgent and the American people need to know who it is. No one leaves this building. No lunch breaks. Okay, we'll bring you a bag of chips and a water bottle, and that's all you can get. And I better hear you munching on them chips, and then throw the bag in the trash, and then get back to voting. I don't want to hear, and because they might try to be slick and eat them chips real slow. I'm like, no, eat them chips real fast, and then go back to voting. I'm like, that's what we're gonna do. I'm like, you're not gonna be sitting here taking your mosey time, walking across the room all slow, talking about let me see who. Okay, how many ballots is it? Okay, who's this for? Biden? Okay, this one's for Trump. All right, like no, it needs to be fast. Y'all need to be running around like, okay, come on. Okay, Biden, Trump. Okay, Trump, Biden. Okay, Biden. Like, y'all need to be like rolling through these votes and get it done. Like, it shouldn't be taking that dang long. Like, these girls are really, they being cute. They being real cute, y'all. They being so cute. And I'm like, wow. That is hilarious to me, though. I'm like, the fact that it's just like that. And one thing I want to get on too, it's really sad. I don't like seeing the separation between people. Like, I don't like seeing that. I was talking about this with my mom last night. Me and her were talking about it, and I was just like, it's funny, if an alien was looking down on our planet, an alien would just see humans. They would just see human beings. They wouldn't see a black person, a white person, a gay person, a lesbian, a straight, a trans, a Republican, a Democrat, a Briton, an African, like a German. They wouldn't see these things. They would just see human beings on a planet, creatures, But it's like us in this way. We just create these things to separate one another, and then it's like, here we are with the whole politic thing with Republicans and Democrats. Like, it's like, wow, what a big separation. But I was like, I understood that, but then I also was like, well, then again, it's two different arguments. Most Democrats, they are very, the normal Democrat you see, they're a very loving person. they live in a neighborhood with other people and love people. You know, they might have a lesbian best friend, a gay friend who does their hair, you know, like and okay, let's not say a gay friend that does their hair. Let's say a gay friend who's like they're their friend, but like they just like they're really chill with them. Cause I took that back. I don't want to say gay, cause there's some girls who they be like, oh, my gay friend, but it's like, girl, he just does your hair and your nails. Like, stop, just stop. Like you only go to him because he can do your makeup. Like, I can't stand girls like that. Like they only care for gay people just cause like the gay person can give them really good fashion tips. It's like, he is not your freaking tool or object to use. So I was like, let's take that back, because some girls, they be like that. Like, so no. Like a person who they have a gay friend who's just their amazing gay friend who also helps them out with like beauty, you know, things. So it's like, that's like your normal Democrat, you know, they're just a loving person. Well, not your normal Democrat, but just like, that's like, you know, that's just usually Democrats. So they're kind, they're not, they usually aren't very racist, or they usually aren't racist. They don't view Mexicans as beneath them, or African Americans as beneath them, or any person of color. But then when you go over to the Republican side, they tend to be a bit homophobic. There can be some that are pretty homophobic, and they'll be sneaky about it, or they might not be upfront about it. They'll be quiet about it, you know. And that's a Republican that's a bit more liberal. They're a bit more liberal, like, so they're more sneaky and quiet about it. So they can be like that. You know, they tend to, you know, when you see rednecks, a good bit of the rednecks tend to be Republicans. What else about them? Like, they can be, you know, they can be more prone to being racist, you know, so many other things that they're very, very, it's very cold. It's not a warm feeling that comes from their party. The Democrats have a more warm, loving, nurturing feeling that comes from that party. And Republican, it's a bit more cold. That it's just a genuine thing. And it just, even me as a little kid, not knowing too much about politics, once I finally learned a bit more about politics, and I got to see those two parties, not even knowing a lot about it, I already felt like, the Republican side is a bit more, something's kind of off about that one. You know, like, it just felt off. So it's understandable when people get so the point that I'm getting at is a lot of people recently have been cutting off their family that is Republican, or cutting off, well, not Republican, but they've been cutting off family that has voted for Trump. Now, it hurts to see people cut off their family like that. But I also understand the reason why. The reason they're doing that, and the thing about these parties, so there's Republican and Democrat, and then the different presidents can have their own morals and their own things that they live by, and their own things that they want to do when they become president or while they're president. So President Trump, he has so many things that are very negative about him, with the way that he's referred, the way that, you know, the way that he treats the LGBT community, the way that the way that he doesn't have a lot of respect for women, and for people of color, and for people who work in the middle class and like lower class. He doesn't fully respect individuals like that, and take the time to, like, if he really respected people like that, he would have been working hard for people to get another stimulus check. The United States is currently now November 5th, I think November 5th. The United States only got like one stimulus check, while other countries managed to get a bit more money. You know, a good bit. I think they said Canada got like $8,000 to help with the pandemic, while the United States only got $1,200, if I'm correct, if I remember. And that's just crazy. That's absurd. That's absurd. Completely absurd. And I'm like, wow. So that just speaks volumes. And so many other things. Like, there are videos of him like on stage mocking a person who has special needs. So many things. He even said once on the stage, sorry you guys, I keep burping, girl. I was drinking some water. Trump even said on stage once that if he were to lose the election, he'll just go home and just play golf. He literally said he'll just go play golf somewhere. While other presidents, if they were to lose the election, they'll still find a way to still be involved in politics. They'll still try to help their communities. they'll still try to do those things. They're not just gonna say, oh well, you know what, I'm gonna just say fuck it and go play video games. Like, that's not what a person does when they care about the country and they care about those people. And that's basically what he was saying to all the people. He was saying that even to his own people, to the Republicans. He was telling them, if I lose this election, fuck y'all, I'm gonna go play some sports. I'm gonna go enjoy myself and do what I need to go do. Like, that's what he's literally telling them. And they still went out to the polls and voted for him. You know, the ones that, and the funny thing too is a good bit of the ones that voted for him, they don't even fully know why. They just go do it. Some of them go do it just because a family member of theirs voted for him, or other different reasons. Or maybe they're going to go vote for him because of one small reason. Like the whole tax issue, when they're like, oh, we're voting for him because Biden wants to raise the taxes. When most of those people, they work minimum wage jobs, which means Biden's tax raise is not going to affect them because they work a job that pays them like $10 an hour. So it's not going to affect you, boo. It's going to affect the girls who are filthy rich that live in mansions. That's who it's going to affect, not you. So they're just dummies. Like okay, let me stop. I don't want to be rude. But I will say, it's just very uneducated. Very uneducated people. You know, and I guess I should talk like Trump. You know, you guys are very uneducated people, and you gotta learn more about it. You know, you just gotta learn more about politics. Learn more about it. I'm not that good at a Trump voice, but you get the point. So, yes, ma'am. And even in this video, girl, like, you know, a Republican gonna comment on this podcast and be like, you don't know shit. You think you know a lot about politics? Your podcast don't even got a lot of views. You only got like 2 likes on it so far. So like, you're not even like, no one even really taking you seriously about it. Shut the fuck up, fucking Democratic person. I'm like, well, how about this for you, boo? How about this for you? If an alien came down to this planet and saw me, you know what that alien would say? That alien would first be like, I love this person. That's what they're first gonna say. They were like, I love this human. They're loving, they're kind. They didn't, you know, they don't entertain that mess. And then when they turn to you, they gonna look at you and be like, and this human right here, they're not giving me what I need. This human right here is serving me, you know, hot dogs that, like, I'm serving the alien a legendary, like a really good meal, while when the alien turns to you, you're serving them like hot dogs that were boiled in water, and then like you slice the hot dogs into slices and you put it on a plate, and then you put some parsley on top of it, and you thought the parsley was going to do something. You thought the parsley was gonna like save you, but it didn't. Like, you thought, like, that alien looked at the parsley and he was just like, no. And so he beamed you, girl. Like, he beamed you into a whole nother dimension, and then took me to paradise. And you're upset about it, and that's what you're gonna learn, like, for acting cute. But the thing is, you can come to paradise with us simply if you apologize for serving that plate. You can come with us if you just apologize. All you have to do is apologize. But the thing is, a girl like that, you know they're not gonna apologize. You know they're gonna be like, no, fuck all y'all bitches. All right, like, the alien gave you a chance. It gave you a chance. So that's what happens. So anyway, I don't know where that went, but what I was getting at is that I was saying it's just sad how there are people who, you know, they have to cut off family members because of this. And my heart goes out to those individuals, because you know that they're loving, sweet individuals who just want their family to be loving as well and join them. But it's like, things happen for a reason, and it's like, maybe this was meant to happen, baby. It's like, maybe you're meant to see this election, and for this election to happen, just so you can know what family members deserve to sit with you at the table. I guess that's the best way I can put it. It happens so you can see which family members are meant to really who really is there for you genuinely, and who will stand up for you and go, well, you know what, I'm not going to vote for him because I know that the things that he stands for goes against the people that I love. And the fact that they chose not to do that because they chose to be selfish and vote only for themselves. And that's the thing about voting too. Voting is not just about you, it's also about others, you know. And so for them to do that, I understand why that hurts your feelings. I understand. And I just say don't, for anyone who is listening and they did cut off their family members that voted for Trump, I would say, you know, allow yourself to feel the emotions that you feel, and just over time, just do what you feel is best to do. If you feel like you want to talk to them, those family members again, and they are open to talking to you and they love you still, then, you know, I just say go with what you feel is best. You know, I just say do that. But it's just a man politics, man. It's just odd. It's such an odd thing. And how it can just really affect people and tear some family members apart. I just really don't like how it can do that. I really don't like that. But and not all families. It only tears apart the families where it's like a family that is very disrespectful, and they have members of the family that are very loving and kind members. And those members are the ones who remove themselves from the family. So, you know, child, but I feel like, you know, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna do good. We're gonna be great, you guys. Just you know, relax, breathe, let it flow. It's gonna be fine, you know. I hope that this podcast was able to make you laugh a little bit or a lot, however you did. And yeah, I just hope it cheered you up, and it cheered me up, helped me, you know, process all of this stuff. And yeah, so I thank you so much for listening. I'm going to make sure I try doing some more episodes in the future. I'm gonna definitely try to bring out some more episodes. And yeah, all right, let me stop rambling. All right, I love you so much. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. All right, have a great day.